How about now? How about now? Does the mic sound better now? Is the audio actually working now? True North Midnight, you guys are in the chat helping me out here. Is my mic better? Hopefully, yes. True North putting it into the chat. Mic is working as well as the Packers offense. If you can hear me, just understand that I'm sorry. That's a good reference. If you can hear me, let me know. Make sure that my mic is working. But yes, the mic is working, but the offense still sucks. Let's break this down. Holy biscuits, guys! A 19-17 loss to the Denver Broncos. I really thought at the beginning of the season, regardless of how this team was going to look in the regular season, but when they announced the schedule, leading into it, like this was a game that I thought no matter what is happening with this team, this should be a winnable game, and it was. But gang, like we cannot have an offense roll up here against one of the NFL's worst ever defenses. Like, this is not just a bad defense by today's standards. It's a historically bad defense. This is not a good team. To put up 17 points against this defense, and Amar should be joining us soon. I think he's usually on Kid Patrol on Sundays, so hopefully he should be jumping here in a second. He said he should be here about 5 minutes, so Amar will be here in about 5. 17 points against this defense, and we came out of this game with A.J. Dillon being the leading receiver. A.J. Dillon should never be the leading receiver of this Packers offense. He had 2 catches for 34 yards, followed closely by Romeo Doubs with 2 catches for 30 yards. If you're interested, Aaron Jones, 3 catches for 22 yards. That's not sustainable. That's not. And it's not as if this was a awful game for Jordan Love where things are getting. He only threw 10 incompletions. One was an interception. That was a terrible decision by Jordan Love. But it's not like Jordan was 50-50 on passes today. He's getting the ball out to people. But A.J. Dillon should not be your leading receiver. That is not a sustainable offense. The crux of all of this, I think, we can get into more of it. Yes. Josh Nijman, that's part of it, needs to be playing in this offense. Injuries all across the field, like True North brings up here about Eric Stokes only getting to come in for 4 plays and then getting hurt. And then, go down the litany of list of Packer players that that saw maybe 3 snaps and got hurt today. Wyatt was one of them. I'm trying to remember off the top of my head. Wyatt, Wicks, I think, got banged up. Christian Watson got banged up on that last drive on another kind of bad pass by Jordan Love. Josh Myers, like you mentioned, with Josh Nijman coming in. So that plays into it, but really that's not what caused the Packers to lose 19-7. This should be rock bottom. This should be rock bottom for this team, and that's why I've put up the sign. I am ready to clear house, and I don't think that I'm jumping the gun here, because here's the thing. I've seen successful franchises. I mean, and success is a broad term, right? Success is a broad term because unless you are defining success as winning the Super Bowl or winning a championship, um, no one's successful. But good teams that are competing, teams across all sports that are competing for championships, competing for titles, whatever it is. I've seen examples of teams that are playing well, doing well, going to playoffs, fire their coaching staff because it's not getting done. They're not getting it done. We have seen now Matt LaFleur clearly does not understand how to hire personnel coaches. Stenovich, Joe Barry, Mike Pettin, the list goes on. We've heard from several former players now coming out and saying that there's a buddy boys club culture in the locker room, where if you are not on the ends with Matt LaFleur and his head coaching staff, you will most likely be shown the door. Probably why we haven't seen Josh Neiman play as much, which that in and of itself should be a reason to fire the whole staff. But this is a problem all the way down. You cannot come into this game. This is really the boiling point. You cannot come into this game coming off of a bye week where you had almost 14 days to prepare for this game and look like that. And I'll take it one step further because you had 14 days to prepare for the Denver Broncos. That's true. But take it back one step further because between the Lions game, which was the last week of September, we are almost exactly a month away from the Lions game. Between the Lions game and this game, we are almost a full calendar month separated. There's been one game between that time. And you are still having these kind of problems. You are still having guys running the wrong routes. You are still having guys with bad false start penalties, bad holding penalties that are costing you drives. Multiple times now, we have seen potential drives that are in opponent's territory, die on the operating table because there's a holding penalty on second down or a false start penalty. Now, think about it. On that last touchdown play, it was great. An amazing catch by a young wide receiver. Should have been caught by Romeo Doubs, but that play almost doesn't even happen because we had not first and goal, but I think it was second and goal or third and goal from or 1 yard to go, and then that false start penalty backs you up, and then we have to spend one drive or one play getting all of that penalty yardage back. And so instead of 2 downs to get 1 yard, now you have 2 downs to get 6 yards, and the Packers basically lucked out into getting a touchdown there. The Josh Myers penalty, not a penalty, but still backs them up out of it. We saw a couple times in that Falcons game. I can remember that. Backs it up out of it. This is a problem that stems straight from the top, and I would give guys like this a lot more leeway and coaching staff a lot more leeway if, again, this wasn't game number 2 in a month-long span. You have all of that time to figure things out, to work on it, to find the best things, to simplify. You have offensive players talking about how they're going to be like the Dolphins. And like Andy Herman put on Twitter, we didn't know it was going to be the Joey Harrington Dolphins. So this is a problem from the top. And I don't think Matt LaFleur is the coach to do what needs to be done with this team. And that's my opinion on that. Mike here in the chat poses the question, and this is what happens when you are a 2-4 team after the bye week and you lose to a historically bad Broncos team. Ask the question: would you rather tank and learn/grow as a team, get possibly 3 top 40 picks? It sucks, but I don't know what to hope for anymore. Yeah, no, look. Unless this is a Disney movie, unless we are literally in a Disney movie at the moment, there is nothing turning this team around. There's no saving grace that's going to, there's not the one like there's not like the Bad News Bears older kid that's going to come and they figure out they're a really good pitcher and they can turn the season around. This is the team. And we all sort of knew that it was going to be the team. But this is lower than what I thought the floor was going to be. These are the games, gang. Like, the idea was supposed to be that we would see growing pains against the good teams and see the highs out of the bad teams, against the bad teams, like we saw in week 1 against Chicago, like we sort of saw a little bit for in the New Orleans game. We saw a little bit of it against Atlanta. But the Raiders on Monday night and this game here were games that should have been highs. And they were some of the lowest lows. And you cannot have that with this team. And I think it goes straight back to here. He has not done a good job building this offense. He has not done a good job getting these young players ready. I understand that there are a lot of young players on this team, especially in the pass catchers. But guys, these guys have been playing organized football since Pop Warner. They know how to run plays. If it's at this point in the season where, again, 2 games in 1 month and they are still making these mistakes, then you need to do something different. Change the offense. Simplify it down to its freaking core. Whatever that looks like. Whether it's you run mesh every goddamn play and you just say, and the play call is literally Musgrave do this, Watson do this, and that's what you tell them. And you tell them directly up front. That's what you do. So there's no more confusion about it. That's your job, to figure out, to put those guys in the best possible position. Because I do not believe that these problems still keep happening with players that have been playing football this long. They know how offenses work. They know how offenses run. So this is something different. This is something deeper. And I go back again to the penalties and the bad mistakes and everything else around it. And let's call it again out. The bad play calling. That might be maybe his biggest sin, is the bad play calling. It goes part and parcel with guys not running right routes or doing things correctly. The terrible play calling just does not work. And it has been time and time again. And now that we don't have an all-star quarterback to make up for it with play sometimes, now we see it really, really rear its head. Umar finally joining us here in the chat. He was being a good dad. I'm gonna have to be a good dad here soon, so we're close on time, Umar.
Oh shit! All right, my bad about that, man.
Oh, buddy, you are totally fine. You are totally fine. Trust me, I don't think it's fair for any child in America to have to suffer anything more from their dads, moms watching this Packer football. So.
It's funny you say it too, because like my wife is out of town. She's in Arizona right now for her 40th. So I'm like on day duty the whole weekend. So it's fine. It's no big deal, you know. But wow, I don't know what
I was gonna say you've got the hair that says I've been a single parent for more than 24 hours.
Oh man, it's been fun. But like I said, I give my kids a lot of crap, but for the most part, they're very, very self-sufficient. So I can't really argue too much, you know. Just gotta do the bare minimum here. But no, I don't know what you covered. Oh man, look, all I gotta say is
I basically covered a vast majority of it, and so I want to hear your take on it. I'm going to give you the floor and speak, brother Umar.
So this is what we're gonna break it down from just holistically. All right. So first things first. That's 2 weeks in a row. Jordan Love has thrown a ball that he shouldn't have thrown. If you look, he's been checking down all game.
At the end of the game to break the game. Yeah. Yep.
Exactly. He again threw a pick in the end zone. It's 3rd and 20. You have to get 3 points. You do not even need a touchdown. And he threw it in double coverage, which again, you are looking at the play develop. Like that doesn't make any sense to me. And you're throwing it, you know, the ball hung up again. Again, his arm strength is never a question, but he seems to be having these like dead duck balls. He could have easily just checked down the Dylan. Dylan could have probably ran for a touchdown, honestly. He was killing it in the past game, and he had nothing but green ahead of him. But decision making terrible by Jordan. I think again we are seeing this team. I hate to say it. I'm maybe just being emotional right now. I don't know if Jordan's it. I know that's not fair considering the fact that we haven't given him a full season. But I'm not seeing progress. I am seeing regression. I am seeing issues on offense that have been there since last year. I am seeing defense. Yeah, people are like, oh, they held the Denver Broncos to 16 points. Let me just say one thing. The Denver Broncos are like the Raiders last week or like 2 weeks ago. They're not a good offense. I mean, Russell Wilson has looked terrible all year, and we literally made him look like a competent quarterback, like we do every quarterback. I'm sorry. Yeah, I get it. They did enough, but the fact is that there's are 2 teams now that are not good that we made look good and actually were able to win the game. And yeah, defense did okay, but at the end of the day, not enough. And this is a common theme on defense. Offense, I don't know if you noticed this, but it just seems like at times they're literally running the same plays. Like I feel like they are running the same plays. And if I am a defensive coordinator playing against the Packers that's worth my salt in anything, it is very easy to game plan Matt LaFleur because he's not being creative. He's not changing things up, right? If this is how you come out after having a bye week, I am starting to lose faith in LaFleur. I don't think he can do it. I really don't. I think that we were sold a bill of false goods with Rodgers being there. I feel like maybe Rodgers did cover up a lot of things that we weren't aware of, and that, yeah, you know, Rodgers does credit him for his 2 MVPs. But I feel like in that last year, maybe there was a butting of heads where Rodgers wanted to change things up, and maybe there's words that Kurt Benkert was saying. Maybe those are true. Maybe there's things that we don't know about to where it comes down to like where guys like LaFleur, let me tell you this, like Matt McDaniel said this in that Playmakers interview. He said that LaFleur was the one that got motherfucked the most out of all 4 of them. Okay? So he's always been like the guy that's been shit on, been like stepped on, been like just kind of like maybe like, hey, you know, just been like kind of bullied or whatever. So now he's in a position of power. So maybe he likes to act like he's a dictator. Maybe he's the kind of guy who doesn't take good ideas and he doesn't want to bring in new voices from other teams and things like that because he wants to be the one that controls everything. And unfortunately, you're seeing the product that I cannot wait to hear the press conferences of Coach than Jordan. Like seriously, Jordan, like I love him. I think he's a really great kid. I really want to see him succeed. But bro, like you have to get 3 points. It's 3rd and 20. You have 2 downs. You have every opportunity to literally take a check down, get 10, 15 yards, and either get them in field goal range. That helps, or go for it. But not throwing that. Like that's not a young mistake. Like I understand Sean Clifford doing that because he's a rookie and he's never played in the league. This is year 4 in an offense that you're supposed to know. There's things that went on in that game where like the same shit's happening again. Like we are coming to the point now where we might be doing a clean slate. We might, and in Gutekunst, I'm sorry, if Jordan doesn't work out, you're not working out because you made a decision back in 2020 to go this route, and this was your guy. And if he doesn't work out, I'm sorry, I don't know how you keep your job. I'm very emotional. I'm pissed. I poured a beer out that I was going to chug to the head when we won, and then we didn't. And now I'm literally taking my time because I don't know if I'm going to drink this or drink something harder. I was coming to this game. It's sad that I came in thinking like, yeah, I think we'll win, but I had so much apprehension. And I haven't had that kind of apprehension since like Brett Hundley was starting or like just, when like shit was just like whatever. But
Sure.
now, man, I am not impressed with this Packers team. And it's like, everyone said it, like if we lose this game, just imagine how Twitter is going to be. And it's funny, I've had so many people in my mentions just talking shit to me about Joe Barry, trying to defend Joe Barry. And I'm like, bro, he's letting these guys go down the field on him. Like,
yeah,
this is just unacceptable. Like, why are we accepting mediocrity? I don't get it.
Like you said, yes, in a typical team, 19 points, 17 points, 18 points, whatever it is, that should be enough for somebody to go down and win.
Right?
Yes. And yes, the offense should be putting up many more points against these terrible defenses.
Yep.
But this is 19 points, 20 points against very bad offenses. So like there has to be like an index score, like a multiplier where 20 points against the Raiders or 19 points against the Broncos is 28 points, 31 points against a regular team because they're not good.
Nope. Watching that Raiders team get demolished by a backup quarterback and like 3rd string running back in Chicago. Then I guess Jimmy wasn't playing, but even if Jimmy was playing, that wouldn't have been. That defense was that's what that defense is. And
someone in the chat put that the Bears beating the Raiders today like they did made this absolutely 10 times worse, and it's very, very true.
Yep.
Because you have some guy out there who looks like a standard create a player from Madden as quarterback, and he's putting
50s
up
with 50s across.
Yes,
like
50s across the board.
Not even like made into like super player, nothing. He's just straight 50s across with Taste Badgett. And that's what they did? Oh my Lord. I really wonder, like, this is where it's like, all right, when do we start questioning Steno? When do we start questioning Barry? When do we start questioning Vrabel? Why the fuck are we running a sweep with Wicks, who literally gets open on every play, but we're running the ball with him? And then, I'm sorry, Watson's hurt again. Guess who else blew up this week? Pickens. Guess who else blew up this week? Pierce. 2 guys we could have gotten instead of gotten Watson. I'm sorry. I am questioning everything now. Wyatt got hurt. Savage has been a bum. I am like, what the fuck? You got Stokes playing gunner, and he pulls his hamstring. Like, one of the guys on Twitter, relax. He even showed it. He goes, I didn't just see what I just saw, did I? I'm like, yes, you did. There goes the hamstrings again. I don't know, man. I don't know. And then Aaron Jones looked great. And I understand, like, we're supposed to be monitoring his touches. And Dylan looked good, too. Like, I hate to – I'm not even – there's no Dylan hate this week.
Yeah.
No Dylan hate. Carson. Oh, Anders. Okay, bro. I hyped you up too much because you fucked up on the – that's 3 points. We win the game.
Sure.
3 points would have helped us win the game. I mean, honestly, it wouldn't have made a difference because our defense – like, I hate this. Like, oh, well, they stopped them from scoring. Did they, though? Like, I'm sorry. Like –
they gave up 3 points. That's still a score.
Yes.
And I understand, it could have been worse if they scored touchdowns. But, guys, again, this is a terrible terrible offense.
Yep.
They have one of the lowest graded pass protections. There was
we could not get pressure on him.
We could not get pressure on the former Husk of Russell Wilson. He had one sack, and I think it was only a sack because they barely got him behind the line of scrimmage.
That's exactly what it was.
He was scrambled. Yep. I think that was the one where he scrambled forward, and he nearly could have gotten a couple yards, and it would have been a sack. That's barely a sack. With the way that pass rush was getting to teams before, this should have been a shooting gallery.
Yes.
And not only was it just the 4, but the blitzes weren't getting there.
No, they weren't. And so Warren Sharp, who's a really, really great statistics dude on Twitter, okay, he said that Packers are the second highest blitzing team on early downs, okay? And they say that every time Russell gets blitzed, his brain fries. I'm sorry, we were blitzing him and his brain wasn't frying. On top of that, too, Carrington Valentine was getting owned the fuck up. And on top of that, we were again playing off. We played off the whole game. Yeah. I think we need a drinking game on. I would love to be on Wednesday because I want to do a drinking game. And the drinking game is going to be we drink, and I'm going to watch the game with you. I really do. I really want us to go on live and watch.
I'd like to do that
because we will drink every single time a check down goes for more than 5 yards on Joe Barry's defense, and I guarantee you we'll be drunk before the second quarter because it is. You play off, and then oh my gosh, bro, like 2nd and 31, and they got 23 yards. And I'm just like, you don't need to play the pass. Like, I don't know what it is. Like, I play 3-4 defense. I literally just stack the line. I play man up, and I just say, beat me, Russell Wilson, because he's not. And I don't know how the hell Joe Barry was able to blanket him in Green Bay in, when was it, 2021, right? Mm-hmm. When Rodgers came back from COVID. And we blanketed him. Yeah, I understand that was in Green Bay. I understand it was cold or whatever. But, like, dude, how'd you do that to this?
It's not that different. Right.
He's worse. He's worse with worse players around him.
Yeah.
I started Jordan, who actually had a decent game, fantasy-wise. And then I started all these other guys. Like, I started Romeo Doubs. Thank God. Dude, I don't know what's up with Doubs, but he is dropping balls. Like, if it wasn't for freaking beast-ass Jaden Reed making a second adjustment, get that score. Like, I'm sorry. Like, Dobbs was killing himself. You saw one after the touchdown. He wasn't even celebrating. He was hitting the ground. Again, he's the most gifted ball catcher with hands catching on the team.
Yeah.
He's just been – Vrabel, I am done. What was that? I don't get why we threw it off. I agree.
5 targets to Dobbs. He got 2 catches.
For 30 yards and a touch. I'm sorry. It should be 5 targets in the first half, in the first quarter, let alone motherfucking like damn whole game. And why get Musgrave in the second round if you're not going to feed him the ball? Why bring Watson back if you're not like I don't.
I mean, to me, Musgrave targeted 5 times, had 4 catches, but they don't. It's not in the right. It's not in the right spot. It's not in the right place. Like it's again just banging your head against the wall.
Did you see that one play in the first half where like Rodgers throws it? I said Rodgers. I should drink for that. I will drink for that actually. Like it's like first, second down, and Musgrave runs like a stick route, okay? And he has 2 guys on him, and Love just throws it right at him. And I'm thinking like, bro, Dobbs is open on the out route.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we're spoiled. As much as I hate Aaron Rodgers for the way he's become who he's become, his talent was undeniable. I will say that. And I love the man for a lot of other things that he stood up for that I do agree with.
Sure.
Just when it comes to other things, right? Like Islamophobia, when it comes to BLM, all those kind of things.
Yep.
When it comes to it's a whole other story. But damn, like even he would play hero ball. But now going back and watching why he played hero ball, I think I get it. Because when people are giving you the stack in the box and they're giving you like what is it called? Single coverage on the outside. You have to take it, right? And 9 times out of 10, he's going to hit that normally, and he just wasn't hitting it. I get that, but dude, we've always been talking about. I don't care what the win-loss record is, as long as we're progressing. A, we're losing. B, we're not progressing. We're getting worse. And I really am like, hey man, fucking fire the whole fucking coach. Because honestly, we've had a lot of guys there for many, many years. Like we've had Jerry Montgomery there as a defensive line coach for how many years? And our defensive line, our rush defense has sucked ass. I'm
Mhm.
sorry. Like that's not even a Joe Barry thing. That's been a Capers thing. Like that's been there since then, right? And I just we need a clean slate. I hate to say it. I understand this might be like, overreaction Sunday or overreaction Monday, whatever the fuck you want to call it. I can cuss, right? I've been cussing a
Go
lot.
for it, buddy.
Okay, good,
Go
good,
for
good. And I am just at a point now where like I never thought I would be like, hey, let's start looking at Drake Maine. Let's start looking at Edwards. Let's start looking at Penix. I never thought I'd be that guy, right? I do not want Caleb Williams. No, sir. No, thank you. He has, and
Yeah.
not many. I'm sorry. There's not a lot of quarterbacks that come out of the Pac-12 that do it. Damn. I'm sorry. Like, I think Justin Herbert might be the only one, really. But like in the recent years, but yeah, I expected Love just to be a little bit better. I just expected him just to be a little bit better. And it's not. And the sad thing was, it wasn't like he had a lot of pressure, right? Am I
No,
am, I- am I am I wrong about that? Like, I don't feel like
no.
he was being
I
blitzed
think
a lot.
I,
Like,
yeah. I thought you meant like pressure to succeed, which I don't think so. Like
oh,
I think, but no, I don't. I think you're right. Like I don't think he was really pressured more than he has been on other
mm-hmm,
games. But like
mm-hmm,
yeah, just in general, it seems like there's been a regression, and I give a young quarterback a lot of leeway in it because he's trying to figure out how he plays through a season. What can he what can he do? You know what I mean?
he can't do what he just did these last two fucking games, dog. Like that is not
I,
situational awareness. That
right. And that's why I hold back on Jordan a little bit
mm,
because you need to be able to. I think for especially a quarterback, a young guy like this you've invested in, you
yeah,
need to be able to say, I'm going to let you make that mistake now, this year, these games.
yeah,
Make that mistake now, but you better damn sure learn from it moving forward. Whether that's the rest of this year or next year,
right.
you better learn. I can't make that throw like that, or
Yeah.
I can't make that throw, or I need to make this throw. I need to make this read. I need to check out of this play. Whatever that is, right? Learn it now. I give you the leeway to make that mistake now.
Yeah, I agree with
But it better not keep going forward. But again, I also don't think he's playing in a well put together offense.
Oh, 100% agree with that. I 100% agree with you on that. I think he's being set up to fail in
Yes,
essence because
yes,
Rasheed Walker is not it at left tackle. When Myers got hurt, like I said on my like when I tweeted that shit, look, I don't want anyone to get hurt. The second that motherfucker went out, I was like, maybe this will force their hand to put Tom in. They did, and guess what? They were able to get down into the red zone. I'm sorry, his ass fucking Myers comes back out. I'm just like, oh my god, no. But it's funny. I saw Yosh get beat like 3 times in a row. So I was like, okay, maybe there's a reason why he's not starting. I get it now. But like, dude, I am with you where there's a reason why they only signed to a 2-year extension because they're trying to give him a chance to prove himself. Okay, fine. That's okay. But you're right though. Like there's no veteran presence on this team. Like there isn't. Like it's just their youngest team for a reason, and we're gonna have these growing pains. I don't know, like from a roster construction building point, like how that made any sense. Like you can't in one breath say that yours are always playing for championships and then do something that is counterproductive to that. And that's exactly where we are right now. Like this team, like there's like even on that like sweep to freaking Wicks, like if Mercedes Lewis is out there instead of fucking bitch ass Degura, that gets blocked up. Degura's literally out there just trying with his short ass arms, trying to block somebody. I say short arms because that was a knock on him coming out of the draft. Just saying.
yeah. No,
All
but DeGuara though needs to be a legitimate question mark now moving forward
another third round
because
pick that don't fall through.
yeah,
I mean, let's be real, dog. I'm sorry. Like, I really am questioning. Like, people, something that Justice Mosqueda said. He goes, either the defense is bad because the scheme is bad, or the
yeah,
players are not good, right? And that could
right.
go on both sides of the field. If that is the case, then because you got freaking Mark Murphy is like, oh, Gutekunst had some good drafts. Maybe you think so, but have we seen the fruits of that labor? I mean, I haven't. Have we? Like, yeah, we've gotten like out of all these draft classes that he's had since 2015, 2016, I think no, is it that long? Or was it 2017? I think it was 2017. I was like, since then, he has not 2018. Yeah, it's 2018, broken knee. So since 2018, there's some teams that draft and those guys just get just a fucking plethora of talent. And we have gotten some good players. But there's something that someone said that the amount of money that we have that don't start every week, like Devondre Campbell because of the high ankle sprain, Jair Alexander now with this back issue. Like, hey man, these are dark times, man. These are dark times because there's no fucking way in hell we should have lost to Denver Broncos. There's no way that he should have been leading 9-0 going into the half. There's
Yeah.
just no way. And oh my God, like, how do we? This is gonna be another week of just doom is gloom, man.
And now
Like,
you have to go. Now you have to go into
yeah,
another divisional game. Now, Vikings at home next
yep,
week,
yep,
and another bad team. Another
yes,
bad
yep.
team. And I know the Vikings have not played yet. Are they on a bye? They're not on a bye this week,
No, they
right? They
play Monday
play
night,
Monday night.
San Fran.
I
Yeah,
saw a stat. I saw a stat um, on Red Zone today that kept scrolling by that said the Vikings are the first team in NFL history to start a season with 14 plus passing touchdowns and 0 rushing touchdowns.
mm-hmm.
I will bet my son's entire college fund. What do you think happens at Lambeau Field next
Madison
week?
has a
Alexander
fucking
Madison
blows up.
strolls in for a
Yep,
goddamn rushing touchdown.
yep. Him and Akers, they both do. They
Yeah,
both do. Like this
yeah.
team is devoid of talent in so many ways. Justin Jefferson, no Marcus Davenport,
Mhm.
all these guys on injury, and then Daniel Hunter may even get traded in the next week, right?
Sure.
Especially if they
Yeah.
lose again, right?
Mhm.
And we will find a way to lose that
We will
game.
find a way to lose in front of Lambeau to another division opponent that is
Yeah,
not as that we are talent wise
yeah.
better than.
Like I don't
Um,
like I'm not gonna lie. Like I wanted to wear black for today's video. Like I'm wearing my carry the G,
uh-huh.
representing my cheesehead folks, carry the G shirt. You know what I'm saying? But like, I need one of you guys to send me some carry the G too. Just saying, FYI. I will pay for it. Just let me know. But
That's a Lombardi's bar bump here for a Lombardi's
just
bar bump for Ummer to get some
yes,
carry the
please,
G
please. I need like a case, dog. With this bullshit that we're going through right now, I need a whole
for
case,
real.
dog. But
I'm running low
no,
on my spotted cow.
see. But look, I think you're right. Like I think they showed the schedule for an upcoming game. Someone said like if we don't beat the Denver Broncos, we're not going to win another game the rest of the season. It could happen. It could happen. Like I hate to say, like I'm at a point now. Like remember that happened, right? Like that was like when Rodgers started, and then they drafted BJ Raji. Then they traded up and got Clay Matthews, right? And I'm not
Mhm.
saying like I mean obviously I don't know that what would occur, but I just think it's insane to think like wow, like we could not win another game.
I mean,
And
Ummer, sorry. I'll say let's. I think because we've addressed pretty much
yep,
everything we could with this.
yeah,
And I want to ask your opinion on a question that came up at the beginning.
okay.
At a certain point, when do you start saying the dreaded T word, tank, and say, we're going to look ahead now to the off season and continue saying that we're going to keep developing, we're going to keep looking. We're not going to hang these guys out to dry, but you're still seeing what you have. But you move forward with the idea that we are not playing for anything after this season, and you're saying we're hoping to get the highest amount of draft capital we can get going into the draft this year.
So in my angered rage when I saw the interception, I said time to tank for a new quarterback. And I just said that because I'm fucking pissed.
Sure.
Truth is, I will never, ever, 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 ever be okay with tanking. Because that's what loser organizations do.
Mm-hmm.
That is what organizations like. That is like the Vikings. That is like the
Washington.
Bears, Washington. There's a lot of fucking franchises that do that shit because they have only known losing and they have to tank to do this stuff, right? No, like we are Green Bay Packers. We are title town. It's the reason why we have the most championships out of any other team in the nation, right, or in the world. I think that you never do that. I can understand the appeal to it, but no, I feel like you just saw Detroit just get ate the hell up. Like you just saw them get it completely exposed because I really feel like they've caught some teams at their worst for them to succeed, and now you see they got ate up by a really good team. But the truth is like they probably would have a lot more losses if things kind of didn't go their way in some games, right? So I think the division is still wide open. Like as mad as I am as I left LaFleur and Joe Barry and Jordan, I don't have anything else but to hope to fucking God that they can get this right. Do I think they will? I don't think so. I really don't. I don't have the faith as I used to. But at the same hand too, though, that's all I can hold on to. Is that like 1%? Like where is it from? Dumb and Dumber. So saying I got a chance, right? I did that. You say I got a little bit of a chance. There's that chance, and there's a chance they could turn it around. But good goodness, man. I don't know, man. There's no help coming out. There's nobody coming off IR. There's nobody coming through that door that's gonna like turn this around. They're gonna need to figure it out themselves. If they couldn't figure it out after the bye week, I don't think they will. But I feel like if they're completely out of playoff contention is when I would start considering just benching players.
Yeah. And that's the thing is like it all depends on what is your definition of tank.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep.
Because hold on one second. My son has to say goodnight. Good night, Howie. Say, Howie, what do we say when we see Joe Barry on TV? Boo. Right? Can you boo? Boo Joe Barry. Boo. Oh, you want to say it? Okay. Night, buddy.
He's saying a night.
Literally, the first time they showed Joe Barry on the TV screen, my wife and I instinctively were both like, boo. And he just,
She's the keeper. She's the one. Damn right.
But yeah, like I said, like it all depends what is your definition of tank. I don't think you go out and you throw games or sit starters to lose games. But as a fan, I get to a certain point where I say, I will never root for my team to lose, but I will be less upset when they do.
Yeah,
because I've committed to a mindset of it is in the long run better for us to actually lose these games than to win them. Because as I say this all the time, the NFL rewards you if you are really good or you're really bad.
Yep.
It does not reward mediocrity. So if you're going to be bad,
I know what you're saying,
then be bad. Then be bad.
That's the thing, though. Like, think about it like this. Like, even if we tank, right? Chicago Bears are going to have the first 2 picks of the draft, anyways. So, like, even if we tank and somehow we can do we've won too many games to even properly tank. If you think about it, shit.
I mean, I'm gonna look this up as we speak right now. See what the current odds are. Because so right now the Bears have the number 1 and the number 3 pick.
Yeah.
Because Carolina's pick obviously goes to them. They are still winless. And Chicago won today, so they actually move up or move down the list
a
little bit. And New England and the Giants all winning. Denver today winning will actually probably move up to, I think, the 3rd overall pick now with the way things are looking.
Wow.
So I mean, and the thing with Chicago, even if they end up 1-2 with those picks, I have to imagine. I don't think they're going to use both of them. I think they are going to hold one of them ransom
Yeah, I
for
see
one
that.
of these teams that wants Caleb Williams. Because if Caleb Williams is out here demanding to go to a certain team, and
Yeah,
you are a team that needs a quarterback,
right.
you say go give Chicago whatever you want for that pick.
Yeah,
And so I think the Packers probably end up drafting top. They could draft top 5.
yeah,
You know, um, and that's your best case scenario.
yeah.
I think. I mean, because you mentioned, yeah, the division is still wide open, and I would love to see them turn this around and become competitive and become, but like that would take such a shift from what we've seen
Yeah.
so far.
Oh, God, you talk about night and day.
Yeah. But Todd, well, here let's bring up let's get back to that one. Todd,
Oh,
there we
shit.
go. That was my fire Matt LaFleur sign.
I
Um,
love it.
Todd makes the good point here. When did
Oh,
they
he said-
stop their current tank? Because
Yeah,
they're
seriously.
currently in a tank.
Oh, wait, no, I need to know Todd. Todd was talking all that trash about the defense. He was talking about, what was he saying last week on, what was he saying? He's all like, oh, Dan, what did you say? The defense this, defense that. Well, what now? What now? Come on, Todd. Help me out, bro. What now? 16. You had literally 19 points by one of the worst offenses in the league. We had the same shit happen against the Raiders. Come on, dog. No, I'm sorry. You cannot defend anything on this team, offensively, defensively, even special teams, because the fucker missed the field. I am so mad I have work tomorrow and the kids have school tomorrow because I want it to be a night of debauchery. And literally debauchery is me drinking at home. Wait, hold
on. So that was the question I wanted to know about James Robinson.
Hey, Emmanuel Wilson looked good.
He did. Emmanuel Wilson had. Dude,
game looked good. Let's be real. Like Dylan looked okay. First off, having Dylan around this shotgun was infuriating because we saw it last year. It didn't make any sense. But all 3 running backs look great. There was no issues there. Again, Denver is terrible against the run. They are just as bad as the Raiders. The only difference was that, the Raiders had a plan for us, I guess. But fucking A, dog. Like, no, like, run game was fine. Just I don't know, dude. I've never seen this team so disjointed.
I've never
Wait, hold on. How could Runyon come out of his mouth and say that we're gonna start running offense like the Miami Dolphins? Like, how could he say that? Like, how do you say that with a straight face? And then this is the shit that you come up with, dog. Yeah. Dolphins put 70 on these dudes. Y'all could barely score. Talking that shit, dog.
Yeah. Shit, I forget what I was about to say now.
My bad. I'm sorry. That's my fault.
No,
you up, man.
You're good. You're good. Yeah, oh my God. I had the point. What was it?
I hate when that happens. That's like the worst.
I cannot believe I lost it. Yeah, I think we've said everything about this team is the offense can't get working, right? The defense, as much as Todd wants to hype up the points given up,
yeah, that's bullshit.
19 points to the Broncos is like 28 to a good team or 31 to a good team.
Yep.
That
Raiders too. Raiders were 19 as well, right? Raiders were 19 as well too. Same shit. You giving up points like that to one of the worst ran offenses in the league by both those teams. That is an indictment on your defense. As an indictment on your team. As an indictment on the whole fucking thing. Like, it's terrible, man. Like, I'm sorry.
Javonte Williams is a good.
Oh yeah, he's good. Yeah, there's no denying that. Him and Jaleel McCollum, they're both great.
But this whole offense, the offensive line is terrible. The offense itself is bad. Javonte Williams almost put up 100 yards rushing on you.
And don't even get me started on the ref, because that ref fucking hates us too. I understand we're 2-1 recently.
That was a poorly officiated game. on
He
both
was
sides.
calling some bullshit,
It
bro. Yeah.
Bad. It
Yeah.
was really bad. Which I want to go back to the play that nobody seems to be talking about
The
on
Josh
that.
Myers false start.
Well, that one, yes, that one. No, on the
I got you.
touchdown pass, the Cortland Sutton touchdown pass,
Oh yeah.
where a tight end is down the field and has two Packer DBs pushing
He's
them
blocking
back
him. He's blocking him. He's
like
literally
they're
blocking his offensive PI, dog.
it's a tackling sled. And everyone's like, "How did he get so wide open?"
That's not a rub. That's not a rub. That is literally offensive PI.
Just because you throw your hand up like this, and with the way that everything had been called, that doesn't get called, and it does not change any of the things that the Packers did wrong.
No.
But it's a glaring mistake
Kemp
in a poorly officiated game.
Kemp has always been. He's the one. If you remember that 2020 game against the Vikings in Green Bay, right, where we were like the Vikings were terrible, right, and we were awesome, and like they must have every time we had anything going, holding, and that was like probably one of the worst officiated games I've ever seen, and that was him. And then after that, supposedly he officiated 2 games where we won. So someone threw that in my face. I'm like, yeah, but that's the one that sticks out. And I watch this shit. I mean, literally, everyone in the broadcast is like, and I hate Myers, but what Myers did was not a false start. Like that's what every center does in the league. And then you call that? Like,
and
seeing
then
LaFleur pissed off about that was actually pretty cool. Because like
yes. And then reverse it in I think it was either the second quarter or the second half, I can't remember. They called they called it offside. And it was the same play. Josh Myers did the same thing, but that time they call it offsides.
Yep.
So you need to answer who made that terrible call. And I said that, like, that's what I said online was those are the types of plays referees need to be held accountable for.
Yep.
Is
100%.
Because like that's inexcusable. And that killed an offensive drive.
Yeah.
You know?
That's another thing too. Like, I'm sorry. If LaFleur has Jordan go to the line again on a 4th down just to get them to go off sides.
Oh my God.
I think I literally might fucking break something, dude. Like, I'm serious. I literally might cause violence because, like, what the fuck, dude? Like, you've done this every year since you've been in the league. You rarely go for it. So now people know, so they just sit there. Like, they literally just sit there and wait because they know you're not going to do it. Like, the threat's not there. Everyone
in the NFL does it. It doesn't fucking work.
No,
I don't.
at all.
I've never seen it work. So what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck are we doing?
If you're on their side of the 50, you go for it.
Yes.
Analytics even says that. They're like, yo, normally if it's between 1 to 3 yards, you're on their side of the 50, you go for it.
Go for it.
Every time. Because the thing is, like, the way we play defense, unless we get you off the field, which isn't normally the case, right? We must have had maybe 3 and outs. I think they literally work you down the field to kill your defense, and your offense loses any momentum they have. So they come out cold, and then the defense comes out tired. It's this death by 1,000 paper cuts is the dumbest shit ever, dude.
You need to be going for it on 4th down so many more times because, again, this offense, young, they need more opportunities to make things happen, extend drives. Number 2, like you mentioned, with the defense, it really doesn't matter with this defense whether the other team gets the ball at their own 20 or at their own 40. They're probably scoring a field goal. They're probably kicking a field goal.
Yep.
So why not go for it? Why not be more aggressive with this team? Why not lean into the inexperience and the youngness of your team and say
they don't know any better
and say we're going to come out here, we're going to play with our fucking hair on fire.
Yes.
We're gonna play with our hair on fire. We're gonna play crazy, and if we're gonna drive 80 in the Ferrari, and if we wrap it around the tree, we wrap it around the tree. But we also might fucking, fly off into the sunset. Who knows? And but instead, it's the opposite. It's all brake, no fucking gas.
None. That saying has gone out the fucking window.
Mm-hmm.
Has gone out the window, dude. Like literally, Wendell was saying it. He said that LaFleur doesn't trust Jordan Love because of all the passes he called, right? I don't know if that's true because all year he's been calling bullshit down fucking field, right? So I don't think it's that. I just think that we are now seeing either the evolution or the de-evolution of this offense. And you are seeing where even when LaFleur is being aggressive, his play call is just not right. And look, it's young teams. They still making mistakes. They're running wrong routes. I saw that shit. I get that.
Yeah.
But like if you're calling, it gets to a certain point to where it's like, all right, when do we start questioning the offensive coordinator? When do we start questioning the play caller? When do we start questioning?
We're there. We're there.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. These positional coaches are not. I'm sorry, John Dunn, the tight end coach, needs to be fucking gone because I have not seen any development from those tight ends.
I would clean slate if you're Brian Gutekunst. Because here's the thing to remember: after next year, Mark Murphy's gone.
Yeah,
Mark Murphy retires.
He needs to ask for full power. I completely agree.
Well, here that's what I'm saying is when Mark Murphy leaves, someone else comes in who didn't hire Brian Gutekunst, who didn't hire Matt LaFleur.
Yeah.
You need to do everything in your power if you are Brian Gutekunst to say, I'm doing everything to save this team. And it's not, well, let's give Matt another year. Joe's got 2 more years on his contract. Let's see if he can turn it around in year number 6. It's you need to be playing for your job if you are Brian Gutekunst at this point. And I don't know. I don't think it's right now because I don't think you can get rid of the whole coaching staff or even the head.
Yeah, no,
I don't think you need to do. I don't think you need to do that right now. But at the end of this season, man, unless you go on some Disney movie stuff,
I know what you're saying. Yep.
Or something.
Yep.
It needs to be chopping block for everybody, or at least come in, set them down Gordon Ramsay style, and say why you deserve to be here.
Fuck yes.
What have you done? What have you done to stay here?
Yeah, because more than likely it's going to be Ed Policy that takes over for Murphy, right? So there's that. And this is the first time when Murphy hired Brian, he told him that I want this. That's why I always say the triangle thing before, because it's like they all point up to, the owner, or not owner, but the president. Okay. And I'm like, no, Brian needs to tell Ed, hey, we're not doing that anymore. I'm running all football operations. You run Town. You run the fucking slides. You do what the fuck you want to do.
Right.
I'm handling all the football shit. That includes hiring the head coach. That includes hiring coaching staff when it comes to decisions he's making. And I need to force him to do something. I should be able to do it. That's the only way Brian's going to save his job. Because right now, if Jordan doesn't fucking make it out, now it's like, dude, you drafted this dude. You literally made an enemy of our starting quarterback that's a Hall of Famer who may be done, may not be done. Who the fuck knows, right? And now look at us. Now, what if you had done things completely differently instead of trying to pull fucking power moves on Rodgers, which we all know that's what Gutekunst did. Like, let's just be legit about it. 2018, he cut Jordy because he was like, you're answering to me, right? Because he knew Ted Thompson literally was like, he loved Rodgers. He wasn't going to do it. Yeah, he was already out the door, right? But I'm with you. I think that when it comes down to it, I honestly, I'm okay with just clean slate. I am okay with clean slate because I would love for us to get a guy like John Snyder. I understand John Snyder, when it comes to talent evaluation, he's done a hell of a lot better than freaking what's his name, than Gutekunst. He just can't find a quarterback. That's basically it. I mean, he got Geno, right? But yeah, I'm okay with going all the way. Hey, bring me Ben Johnson. Give me Ben Johnson as the head coach. Give me Eric Bieniemy. Give me Eric. You want a tough motherfucker? Give me Eric Bieniemy.
Ding, ding,
Give me Eric Bieniemy, dude.
Right
Bring
there.
me him. That's it. Bring me him. Bring in Evero. I'm done. I'm good. I'm squared away, dog. I'm happy. I'm a happy camper.
Yeah.
If anyone get Jordan Wright, that would be him. That would be Eric Bieniemy, honestly.
Yeah. Yeah. All right. I think we hit on everything here. I will say, Mike, Mark Murphy is going because of term limits. There is a literal, it's an age out. Once you hit a certain age, you can't be the CEO anymore. Right. Which, I think makes total sense. I'm so glad the Packers have that in place because
God, could you imagine if we didn't? Holy shit.
Yeah.
Honestly, who knows? Harlan would probably still around.
That's fair.
And he actually knew what the fuck he was doing. Like,
that's fair. We could have saved us from the Mike Sherman era.
God. Right? Jeez and Pete's, man.
Guys, appreciate everyone that stopped in to come watch us. If you are still pissed off and you need to get some energy out, I suggest go on the channel here, go back to our show from Game On Wisconsin's Lombardi's Bar on Wednesday night when we had former Packer defensive tackle Mike Daniels on.
Yep.
That guy spitting absolute fire.
Yeah.
About this team and especially about this defense and kind of the culture in Green Bay. And I think kind of spoke some truth to a lot of things that fans and some former players have been saying about this organization. So go ahead, make sure you check out that interview. It was really, really good. Mike was an awesome guest to have on.
You guys did awesome, man. You guys did awesome.
That was awesome. It was literally about ready to run through a brick wall.
I've always loved Mike Daniels, man. Mike Daniels has been a favorite player of mine, and it was funny when he said that he's like, when I was drafted at Iowa with one arm, and I always remember he had his one arm was always like taped up and braced. Yeah. But he got a lot. I don't know. He was just a try hard dude, and sometimes you need those kind of guys. You know,
exactly.
You don't need these pretty boys that are just trying to, like, you know what I'm saying, like, just I don't know. Maybe they don't have any adversity. Yeah, I need dogs, man. I need dogs, man.
And again, if you're new to the channel, make sure you subscribe so that you're notified every time we go live, because we have shows almost every single week, every single night during the week. And you can catch myself, and usually Amar is becoming a pretty regular guest over at Lombardi's Bar on Wednesday night, which I am not upset about in the slightest. We have a lot of fun over there and all of our other shows this week, so you get notified every time they go live when you subscribe. So make sure you do that. Follow us on social media, on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, all of that. We are there. Make sure you give us a follow on all of that stuff as well. Amar, any final words?
No, man. I'm gonna go give me another beer, and
me too.
I'm gonna go watch the Eagles and the Dolphins play here and see some actual competent offenses run. I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah, see what the Packers' offense is supposed to be. Apparently,
what we're trying to be like.
Right.
Fucking Runyon, dog. Fucking seriously.
Runyon should maybe not run your mouth.
His mouth. Damn right.
Dang. And on that note, cheers, everybody. Go Pack. As always. Go Pack.
Take care, buddy.